David. Tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit about a couple things we got going on. First of all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you've been with us for a while, welcome back. So the Glove Up channel has grown since November to well over 100,000 subscribers. And we hear the things that you're asking for, and we read every single comment. And like a lot of times you'll notice David responding to those under the name of ProFlex. He's got a stretch machine that he invented that we all use and recommend. So that's what that is. You'll see him commenting on the channel. But thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here. And Dave, we've been listening to some of the requests, and some of the things that people want is, one, a way to access us to ask questions, because it's a little harder in the YouTube channel to be able to do that. And the second one is to learn some of our combinations that we've been using. So we've put together a way to do that. You want to talk about it a little bit?
I think by now most of you have been watching. Alan and I have a kind of unique partnership here where, I focus on the why and the mechanics, right? So you have perfect tools, and then Alan applies them in this flow series that he originally set up with Joe Lewis, and we've expanded it. And so in its combinations, working in blocks, head movement, footwork, as well as techniques. And they're real world combos that we've used. It's not made up to look neat.
Flow, you guys, and flow is basically all of the combinations, the fight combinations that we have in our system. So again, David, you were breaking up just a little bit, so I'm going to repeat what you said. If you want to go ahead and check your mic and make sure it's connected there. But so basically, David goes over the technical aspect of all the kicks and punches and movements, and then I put them together in drills and in training formats. The other thing that we have to tell you about is the new community that we had. It is free. And inside of that community, we are offering flow for all 30 of the flow combos for free. So all you have to do is just comment flow below this video. I'll send you a link on how you can access all that for free. The community is free. The flow combination series, it's free. Just comment flow down below in the YouTube video. I'll shoot you a link. So David, we've been talking about
A community of very knowledgeable fighters.
If you want access to that, just comment. When I get, as soon as I can, I'll send you the link. It'll be here. Once you're in that community, you'll be able to ask us questions. You'll be able to access the flow combinations. There's a video that shows you all 30 of them. And it, again, costs you nothing. Just comment flow, and then I'll send you a link. So Dave, I want to jump into just one or two quick little trainings because we've been getting the question. So guys, we recommend a bladed style stance in our style. Now, the reason we choose that particular stance is we feel like overall, based on mechanics and alignment, it is the most effective stance against all styles. So it's not against one style. We can make slight adjustments to make it work for any situation. That's our view. But Dave, out of that stance, you have a lot of people that keep wanting to turn that front toe forward. And I'd like for you to talk a little bit about why we don't do that.
Reasons. First of all, watch what happens. So we're in a bladed stance, and we're not wide. We're taking those areas away. Watch what happens when I open my foot up. Number one, it squares you up to your opponent, right? Number two, when that foot is straight, if I throw a hard right hand, which should have weight shift, torque, and speed, there's nothing to catch me there if I miss. You fall over your foot. And remember, great fighters, the best in the world, miss 2/3 of their shots. So you have to play for the miss. When it's turned in a little bit, you have stored energy right there. So if you miss, it's throwing you right back up. That's two reasons, right? Another reason is I think we can agree that if you want to rip a hard shot, you've got to rip your pocket, your shoulders, and shift your weight, right? That starts from a pivot, right? If this foot is pointed straight ahead, look how far around I have to go. When it's turned in a little bit, it's right there, right? So that's another reason. The fourth reason is critical, and the styles that point their foot forward don't do a lot of fast double jabs moving forward. Okay, they stand like this, but we like to rip forward, and you have to go toe to toe. If it's straight, it causes people to go heel to toe, and you can't rip fast steps like that. So there's four reasons why we do it. Now the downside is zero. People go, oh, you can't block a leg kick like that. So if my foot's straight, I can block it okay. But that little turn's going to keep me from blocking it. It's not true. It's not true at all. And you can see some of the great time fighters now breaking that foot in a little bit.
Proponent of it is Boss Rutan, who is obviously a monster, crazy good fighter. I like him as an actor. I think he's awesome in there. But the man is built like a monster. Like he's got super thick shoulders. He's a very big, thick, genetically very strong dude. So I am 100% confident that he can do what he says he's going to do. But if you're not built like that, if you're not a 230-pound monstrous gigantic neck, head. Uh, yeah, he can take that punishment. But for the average person, you don't. I'll just speak for myself, David. I think for you also, I don't want to take that punishment. Like I would rather have finesse and be able to block and roll and turn and use distance. I don't want to turn a certain way so that I can eat a punch or a kick to come at you. Now, if you're a middle schooler and you're like, 120 pounds maybe, but against a grown man that can fight, I just don't want to success. I don't want to put myself in a position to.
Who's more explosive and fought stronger than that guy? Let's talk about, let's talk about Lennox Lewis, big, strong guys. They don't point their foot straight. Here's the thing, too. The people that point their foot straight aren't speed fighters. They're not ripping it, right? They're creeping. They're creeping on. So you can do that if you're creeping, but you're still going to take shots down the pipe. There's no question about it. And if you're built for that, then maybe you want that to grab them and do whatever you got to do. But that's not the norm. The other thing too, it is harder to move backwards. So Alan, you and I talked about this. The problem people have when people are going to take them down or they're trying to bum rush them is people leaning backwards or moving the incorrect foot first, the front foot first instead of the back foot first, right? So if this foot is pointed straight, what do I have to push off with? My heel? It's hard to retreat, sit, and go back straight, stay over your center line with that foot pointed straight. Much harder than when it's turned a little bit and you have to toe and push backwards. So that's really fifth reason to do it.
Want to take that punishment. Like I truly believe Boss Rutan can absolutely do it. I've seen him do it. He is built in a way where he can really take that. But what we're after is creating a way that will work for everyone. And our way, we're trying to avoid some of the damage that you're going to take because if you're up against a bigger, stronger, faster, you don't want to be the one on the receiving end of all that. And we both feel like that bladed stance is the most economical, fluent, and adaptable of all of the different stances.
Tim Lane, rest his soul, he was like son to me. He was the head of striking for Randy Couture, right? And Tracy Algier, he brought that like the octagons, we variations right? So
punches. We have 30 base fight flow. It's a video series. There's a flow on this video, and I'll come back later, put the link in later tonight, but you got to come back and check it. Also, if you're watching, like the video, put a comment, say hello, ask if you have any questions. If we don't see it now, we'll come back and get it later. But all that stuff is free. We just want to give you the ability to see what it's like to train with us, and that's all it is. Let's do that.
just click that and get a hold of these base combinations because we work everything off of that. And then, there'll be a lot more coming. We'll add kicks to it and setups. But these are 30 really good flowing combinations that you can apply immediately and trust them. A lot of the stuff you see online, people are making stuff up. And, I can't tell how many conversations we've been and said, man, that just worked. Here's why. But I think a lot of that comes from like kickboxing, boxing, fitness classes too. Yeah.
Of educated striking guys, and that is somebody that can teach you not only the how, but the what and the why. When you understand the mechanics and how to rotate your body and where your feet and where your hands go, it just gives you a better blueprint to learn fighting overall. Without a blueprint, you really don't have anything to fall back on. Hey, and I see your comment down there that the stream is a little bit choppy. I saw that I had a little signal issue here. And if you would, go ahead and comment again and let us know if it's gotten any better in the last couple minutes, guys. See if that stream has loosened up a bit. Quite a few people watching. Want to be sure that you got a good signal. And also, if you would let me know in the stream, is it both of us or is it just one of us that's a little bit choppy? Yeah, for sure. Tanuka got it. You'll get it tonight. And we appreciate the comment, man. He said, thanks, beautiful knowledge for those who are new to these combinations. And yes, shoot me the blue. And I agree on the blueprint. So yeah, if you need a copy of that, I'll be glad to send you that link and you can access it. And again, the rest of you guys, you have any comments, please put them down below. So David, I want to ask you that. And then the other thing I wanted to review with the group is the way that you break down the 2 and the 3 gun. We taught a conference up in Virginia a couple weeks ago to a group of martial arts school owners and fighters from all over the country. And David took a minute to explain a way to train rotation and torque. And Dave, I'd love for you to do that.
Brooklyn. So a guy who's been, our man, our guy, 7 months of training, went up there and tell him what you asked, Alan.
For 6 months, and you guys have seen some of the videos. The first time he and I were together was after 3 months with David, and he's on our main page doing a defense drill with me. We had literally just met. So at this conference, we asked the martial arts group, how many of you trained at least 10 years? How many of you trained at least 20 years? Tons of hands went up, and Brooklyn's trained for 6 months. And his skill level was literally triple anybody else in that room. Great people, but just not on his level. And I really feel like the primary reason is he had David really building his fundamentals. But the little bit that I got to contribute was helping link those moves together that he already knew. And it really makes it's a powerhouse package when you've got your fundamentals and you know how to drill and train them.
You have 50-50 weight distribution. Remember, you never want to get out over that front foot, right? There isn't a good boxing coach in the world that don't get out over that foot, right? Because you're in trouble. You're off balance. If your weight's over here, you keep it there. You have no weight shift on the right hand. Martial arts, kickboxing, they can take that leg out. So we're in a 50-50 weight distribution. And your jab is like a snake's tongue, right? It's got a snap, it's recoil, right? That's what creates that pop. And if you want to dig deeper, your feet move in, not your body. You don't make the fist reach the target. The punch always is the same. What makes it reach the target is your feet coming in or their feet coming in and you catch it. But too many people want to feel it hit the target. That's when they get in trouble. So we got the 50-50, bang. Now, every other strike that we teach, elbow, punch, palm, heel, comes out of two guns. We call the rear gun the two gun, right? And the front side the three gun. Now, so what we do, you have torque. So it starts with the heel, the hip, and full shoulder rotation. So your shoulders over your center line. And then your weight is shifted to your front foot. So you have weight shift, little weight shift, and torque. So there's the two gun, right? Right there. Now, I can throw a straight right out of it. I can throw overhand right, right cross, uppercut. Everything comes out of that gun, right? And the reason it is, if you look at great boxers, you will see very little rib cage. A split second. And that's because they're staying connected to their power source till the last second. They don't draw back, they don't push. Okay, the punch is never a push, it's a snap. The power is in the gun. If you throw a bullet at somebody, it doesn't do much, right? You have to fire the bullet, right? All the different techniques are just bullets out of that gun. So the three gun is here. Heel, pocket, shoulder, shift into that rear foot. So that'd be a hook, right? Uppercut, liver shot, elbow, all out of that gun. It's going to have more power when it comes behind the two gun. Bang, bang, naturally. But if you get that gun that's in our series, if you get that, then that's probably the most important part next to positioning and being able to move. Get those guns down. So practice it individually. And we have different combinations. That could be a right uppercut. That could be any combination, set foot to foot. Does that make sense?
So, guys, think about your own style. Where did it? What's the why? Like, you know how to do certain things, but why? Is there a better way? Is there something you could clean up? Would being able to practice that torque and rotation improve your power? Where do your hands go? How's your footwork? Like, these are the things that we're trying to introduce. Maybe something new that you didn't know. Maybe something you already knew. Maybe you know a way.
If I'm firing the right heel in the right pocket, pretend like I'm hitting into the pocket. So the end in mind is weight shift and shoulder turn. If you notice my front foot, we call this biting. See how it's turned in? Okay. So you have to shift to a stable base. So this foot, 2 feet can't move at the same time. I see a lot of people online, and when they're doing the punching, I'm noticing 2 feet moving, and that's a paper punch. It's not going to do any damage because you're shifting to an unstable base. So if you're throwing the two gun, you torque, you shift that weight to that heel, but that foot can't budge. Now, when you're coming back, that foot plants hard, which will shift your weight there, and then that becomes a problem. So only one foot can move at a time. With 2 feet shift, okay, it may look right in the air in the bag, but it has no leverage.
Teach, which is foot to foot, making sure they understand that the weight, when you do everything in fighting, all of your movement patterns, all of your punches, everything you do, foot to foot.
To foot, foot to foot, foot to foot. It's all foot to foot. And 90% of now sometimes you may hook off the jab, right? So the jab wouldn't have a foot, but the next time you get it there, right? But the power is in the torque and weight shift, not on these right here. I was on communicating with somebody saying, don't push your punches. They were like, oh no, we need to go through the target. I didn't say we don't go through the target. I said don't push the punch. Because the longer that's out, the more open I am here, and I am right here, right? So the punching part of it has to quit, right? So be out the back, no openings. So notice this, guys, if you're watching. Next time you see like a amateur boxing or a tough man contest, all the way up through the MMA, kickboxing, and top level pros like a Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson. Notice how little bit of their rib cage that you see when they're firing. And the reason is all their power's coming from there. And that's just a bullet flying out.
Say hello if you're watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. The reason for tonight's training was, first of all, I want to cover those two things. And we also want to make sure you knew about the community. So if you want to join our little fight community where you can talk and ask questions, really what you're doing is accessing the flow combination blueprint. It's free. Just comment flow that you want it. I'll send you a link. You go in, access it, get access to the video training. There's a manual that goes with it. You're able to access all of those combinations. So you'll be seeing a little more series. Hopefully you're able to see this. The comment, just know any of that. And that's it for tonight. So looking forward to seeing you. Go ahead.
Put together is how you hit born a punch. You're born one with thing that he dropped Craig.
Those comment flow if you want access to for our live Facebook running through Facebook. So